Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a sunflower and rose wreath, and these are the supplies I'm using. One of the best signs I've ever found, and I found it at a craft fair: in a world full of roses, be a sunflower. I am going to start with my bow first. I'm going to start with the black and white ribbon, and I only had so much left of this, so there's only going to be 3 loops of the black and white striped. I do make my loops at 6 inches. As I'm putting my ribbon in, I do twist it in that dowel. I want the pretty side up. Next, I'm going to go in with the red velvet ribbon, and I do scale it down. So instead of 6-inch loops, I'm going to do around 5.5. Next, I'm going in with one of my favorite ribbons. It's found in the wedding section at Hobby Lobby. I just think it's beautiful. I am going to do 4 loops around 4.5 to 5 inches each. Next, I had this solid black. I felt like it needed a solid black because I had the solid red, but I didn't want to make loops with this. I'm just going to use it as tails. So 1 strip needed, and I put it in the dowel, and those are my 2 tails. Now I'm going to finish up my bow with the red velvet, and I'm only going to do 2 loops each of this, and they're scaled back dramatically. It's probably around 3 inches for the loops. Now I'm going to get my zip tie, and I'm going to gather up all the ribbons, all the loops on the right side. I just want to get my zip tie started, and this is where I decided I needed a longer zip tie because the bow was so chunky. So I'm going to gather up all the loops on the one side, get my zip tie started, use that to pull it out of the Easy Bow Maker, pull the zip tie around to the back. I'm going to add a chenille stem or a pipe cleaner to the back, then I'm going to crank it all the way down. I didn't want to fluff out my bow or break my bow just yet, so I'm going to put that to the side for now. Next, I'm going to work on this gorgeous sign. She does have twine through 2 holes of the top of it because it's just a sign, so somebody's going to hang it. I want to use this in a wreath, so I'm going to tie it off in the back, trim it up, and I'm going to use cable mounts to attach this to my wreath. So I'm going to glue down the cable mounts and let them set up. I want 1 cable mount at the top and 1 cable mount at the bottom. I'm going to use pipe cleaners to feed through the cable mounts later, but as for right now, I'm just gluing this down, and I'm also going to glue the twine that she has. I'm going to glue that down so it's not flopping around. Okay folks, now I'm going to work on my florals. I'm just going to trim all the roses off of this bush, and then I'm going to use 5 of the sunflowers, so I'm going to trim those off as well. The sunflowers I did get from Hobby Lobby, so the stems are a little thicker, so I had to pull out my bigger wire cutter. My boyfriend actually bought this for me, and I love it because it takes care of the thicker stems. Now I'm going to work on the placement of my florals. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stagger and stack. I'm going to pull out my floral tape and stagger and stack the sunflowers and the roses. So here I'm just working on placement. All I'm gonna do is just tape it off. Now, I was worried about that one green leaf and then it just fell off. So you know what? It's gone. I took it off. So now I'm just gonna continue to tape the roses and the sunflowers together until I'm satisfied. I did purchase my floral tape from Hobby Lobby. It's very sticky. To be honest with you, I think I like the Dollar Tree floral tape better. So here I'm just adding more roses. I'm going to tape those off. Like I said, you stagger and stack. Next, I thought it needed some greenery, and I did have a leftover greenery bush with several different types of greenery on it. So I'm just going to take from that. I'm going to use up all I can from leftover projects. These last two pieces of greenery that I had, I did tape them off and put them on my bundle. I guess you could call it a bundle. And I was a little concerned that it might come off. So I did add a zip tie to secure it. And then I put floral tape over the zip tie because I just want to hide my mechanics. Okay, folks, now that I have the first one done, I'm going to work on the second one. It's the same process. You stagger and stack and tape it off. I am doing a bundle shooting up from the top and a bundle shooting down from the bottom, and I'm going to place my bow in between the two bundles. So here I just keep going. I know I'm going to have 3 sunflowers and 3 roses on this bundle, and I am going to add some greenery. I do take off a few of the leaves of this greenery. It's like a fern, and the reason why I take it off is because it goes all the way down to the stem. So I need some stem in order to tape this off. So I do remove some of the leaves. The top part, the top bundle, I guess I should say, is not going to match the bottom bundle. And that's okay. There's no rules. Okay folks, now that I have both my bundles done and ready to go, I'm going to pull out my grapevine, and now I'm just going to work on placement. I wanted to see which side of the grapevine wreath I wanted to use. I also need to remove that tag, that's gone. And now I'm going to just look at it. I want to see, okay, what's the best part? What's more rounded? What can I cover up? And what do I want up and what do I want down? So I decided with the 2 sunflowers on the top and the 3 sunflowers at the bottom, and then once I put my bow in, it's gonna look seamless. Okay, so now I'm going to zip tie my bundles to the grapevine wreath. I was struggling to get it through the grapevine, so I just pulled out a weaving needle. I wrapped the one end of the zip tie to the hole of the weaving needle, and I just poke it through the grapevine and it comes right through. I could zip tie it around the whole grapevine wreath, however, then you'll see the zip tie on the back, so I did want it to go through the grapevine. Okay folks, one bundle down, and now I'm going to place the other bundle and zip tie that off as well. Okay folks, now it's time to work on that bow. I am going to use my weaving needle, my weaving tool. I'm going to wrap the pipe cleaner around the hook of the weaving needle and just pull it straight through that grapevine and twist tie it off. Once I twist tie off the pipe cleaner, I do trim it down and I poke it back into the grapevine. Now I'm going to work on fluffing my bow. It's also called breaking the bow, and I'm going to trim up my tails. The thinner ribbons I am going to cut at a slant, and the thicker ribbons I am going to dovetail. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I literally just hack at the tails. I just trim them and get them exactly the way I want them to be. This last black and white stripe tail I had, I did want that shooting up, not going down. I want it to kind of go up. I just want some more dimension and texture to the wreath. Okay folks, now it's time for that sign. I'm going to put the pipe cleaners through the cable mounts. So I'm only going to use one pipe cleaner, and I just cut that in half, and I'm going to feed it through the cable mount, and I'm going to get a weaving tool, attach it to one side of the pipe cleaner, and feed it through the grapevine, just like I have done everything else on this grapevine. I do twist tie off the pipe cleaners on the cable mounts, and I put the sign at a slant, so when I add the weaving tool, I can see what's going on, and I can see exactly where I'm placing it through the grapevine. I purchased this sign from Creative Solutions by Tina, and I'm going to put a link in my description box to her Etsy shop. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just pulling the pipe cleaner through the grapevine and I'm twist tying it off. And then once I twist tie it off, I'm going to poke it back into the grapevine. Okay folks, now it's time to clean up my workstation. I am going to place the wreath in front of me, and as I was looking at it, I felt like it needed some more greenery. So I am going to get out my glue guards, my finger guards, and I'm going to place those on, trim up some of this greenery bush that I have that I love to work with, just to kind of lighten it up. And I use about 4 stems off of this bush, and I'm going to place that around a bow. So I am going to use a little bit of hot glue at the end of the stem and then place it down into the grapevine. This also helps to cover up a little bit more of my mechanics. So here I'm putting my finger guards on because I just don't want to get burned. I don't want that glue on my fingers anyway. I'm going to place a little bit of glue at the end of the stem, and then I'm going to find a spot right above the bow and place that into the grapevine. I do 2 little pieces at the top of the bow and then 2 little pieces at the bottom of the bow. I really do feel like this brightens it up a little bit. Okay, now that I'm placing in the last 2 pieces of greenery, I am pretty well satisfied with this wreath. I really like the way it turned out. That sign is stunning, it's amazing, and it's got a great saying. This is my completed project, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Also, a big thank you to Creative Solutions by Tina.